Hi everyone, another day, another auction. So I'm up at a performance and classic car auction at Bolesworth Castle in Cheshire. Fortunately the weather's just about holding off. It's been an absolutely horrible drive here. There's some great cars here and they've got a variety of cars down here in the car park, and also perhaps the more expensive ones in that big kind of marquee, which is where the auction actually takes place. Ones that particularly interest me, there's a B5 APLINA, so the supercharged V8, a couple of Land Rovers, Maserati Quattraporte, a lot of cars here without reserve, so it's going to be quite interesting. I think there could be some good bargains here, quite a lot of Maseratis, all sorts. So I'll just quickly show you inside. There's more of the supercars in here, I suppose, and perhaps more expensive cars, and you can see the car park outside and the castle in the background. So a lovely setting. There is some background music being played here, so I'll try and minimise it for you so you can see right in front of that R8 is where the auction takes place. So I'm going to start with this TOMASO PANTERA, probably my favourite car here. Absolutely love these. Possibly the only 70s supercar I'd buy. This looks amazing in this blue. Brilliant condition. Apparently this featured in an episode of Breaking Bad. Look at this interior, it's just wonderful. Famous dogleg gated gearbox. Yeah, really lovely car. Of course these had the 5.75 Ford Cleveland V8. Sounded incredible as well as looking incredible. And the guide for the Pantera is 60 to 70,000. So this is the Volvo P1800S. Again famous from TV, I suppose. Roger Moore used one of these in The Saint. Lovely car, absolutely beautiful design. I would love one of these. This is 1967. Only 25,000 miles. It's had a 33-year recent ownership and £40,000 spent on it. Look at those dials, awesome. No reserve on this. I think they usually go in around the 30s, and this looks brilliant condition. 1.8 engine, 4-speed manual, V12 Vantage now. This is a 2010 model, 22,000 miles. It's obviously the 6-litre V12. I think these had 510 horsepower, 6-speed manual, which is preferred by many. Bit of road rash there, but nothing bad. It's in really lovely condition. Inside as well looks great. Never been a massive fan of Aston interiors. Not being critical. It's a beautiful car. I'd love it. It's guided at 55 to 65,000 pounds. Yeah, really almost like new in there.
Here we go, 15,000 seated bid.
So this is the Volvo. It looks like it's going incredibly cheap. Yeah, wow, that's a bargain. So Aston Martin V8 Volante. This is 1980. These had the 5.3 V8, of course. This one again famous for its previous ownership. Graham Chapman from Monty Python owned this, and the current owner has owned it since 1996 and spent an incredible amount on it. It's done an X-Pack conversion, so uprated engine, etc. Uprated steering, suspension, brakes. It's had a new hood and a respray this year, I think. Interior is lovely as well. Yeah, what a car. Iconic design. Very muscle car, really. And perhaps another kind of 70s car. Okay, this one's 1980s, but that I would like to own. Bit beyond me at the moment, though. Yeah, beautiful colour. So this is guided at around £200,000 to £240,000.
At 130. Are we having a bid again there, gents? Consult the catalogue, come and have a look at it.
Well, looks like the Aston Martin V8 is going to be way off guide. 130. Guided at over 200.
Twice, third and final time.
Yeah, not going to sell.
£130,000. It will not surprise you. We're going to leave that one there, I'm afraid, at one.
So the Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9. This is a 1998. This is in really nice condition. 68,000 miles, which is actually fairly low for one of these. A bit of damage there, well, minor on the bumper. It's got a good recent history. These were renowned for just being great handling and fun cars. I can't see any rot on this. Paintwork's excellent. The interiors actually often don't hold up very well in these, but this one again looks excellent. So this is guided 10 to 12. I mean, there's some wear on the bolster there, but these are often very bad condition. Guided at 10 to 12,000. I think that's going to be a good buy. 635 CSI, and again another one you see at a lot of auctions. This is a 1986, of course had the 3.5 litre straight 6 engine. This has had a lot of work done to it, underbody restoration with some welding, suspension and brake overhaul. Paintwork looks excellent. Thought I saw, no, it's all good back there as well. Possibly some signs of repair around the arches. I think it's normally the front arches that go on these. Seems all solid and everything, just looks like you can see some evidence of previous repair. I'm being picky, it's really good. And inside, I'm always amazed how well these hold up to high miles, these cars. 134,000 miles on this one, but look at it, I mean, it's excellent. This is no reserve. You know, these often fetch, you know, mid to high teens for very good ones. I'd say this is very good. I'd expect this to be a kind of mid-teens car. So Maserati Quattraporte, iconic design. Love this, sitting next to a Rolls-Royce Ghost, by the way. This is one I'm interested in. Obviously a Ferrari-derived 4.2 litre V8, Pininfarina design. Yeah, this one's in very good condition. It's only had 2 owners, and it's only on 37,000 miles. Condition looks great, and looks wonderful in this colour with this cream leather interior. Really nice combination. These sound epic, of course, but you can pick these up now for kind of £7,000 upwards. Probably one this mileage, more like 10,000. Yeah, looks pretty good in here. As you'd expect, it's very low mileage. I did notice that this compartment was not fitting correctly earlier. Perhaps it had just not been replaced. It's nothing too bad. I was speaking to the owner. He also told me that the engine management light sometimes comes on over bumps, and that's coupled with the fact it hasn't really been serviced, he said, for maybe 5 to 7 years because it hadn't reached the mileage, is enough to put me off this car. Actually, that's nothing serious, but clearly that bit doesn't stay where it's meant to. And there's a bit of damage I spotted on the rear bumper, some bad paintwork. Speaking to the owner, he's wanting 15 grand for this. It is offered with no reserve though. I can't see it making anywhere near 15 if I'm honest. Ferrari 360 Modena. This is a 2000 with, I think, 59,000 miles. So this had a 3.6 V8, screamed at 8,500 RPM, 395 horsepower. This one's got quite a few stone chips. The paintwork's not great. You know, obviously it's over a 20-year-old car, so you wouldn't expect it to be perfect. Just a lot of Ferraris are extremely well kept. It's got some service history, but not a great service record. It's obviously the Rosso Corsa and cream leather interior, so great combination. Gated manual gearbox, of course. I had a look online, and these sell for 50 plus, really. This is guided at 50 to 60. There is a high mileage one for about 42,000, I believe. I think this might struggle to get 50 to 60, if I'm honest. You know, it's well used and loved.
Got you, thank
It's
you.
not going to make 50 to 60, that's for sure.
39,000. We're looking for 40 now. £39,000. You've cleared my sheet. Does anybody wish to go 40? Again, that phone call will be a whole lot easier if it starts with a 4. Once at 39,000.
Yeah, someone could pick up a pretty cheap Ferrari there.
Final time at 39,000. That is provisional, sir, but it's...
Escort RS Cosworth. Another iconic fast forward from the modern era. I think the paintwork doesn't look amazing, as there's no real damage or anything, but it just needs a polish. I'm surprised when you're putting in a car You know, this is estimated 30 to 40,000, that it doesn't get a good polish beforehand. I loved these as I was a teenager when these came out, and just the whale tail and the rallying pedigree. I loved rallying at the time. This is in lovely condition, 57,000 miles. It's got a big turbo, upgraded intercooler. I don't know whether that will affect price or not. I'm not really too up on this, whether the originals make more. I don't think it particularly matters for these kind of fast Fords. Yeah, it's a really nice condition. Guided at 30 to 40,000. I think that looks fairly good value. High mileage ones seem to start around the 40s really, so it could be quite a good buy. I think they've still got some room to go up as well. Looking at the Sierra Cosworths, which are significantly more expensive, I think these could still go up a bit more. Focus RS, these are ubiquitous at auctions at the moment. They seem to be everyone I go to. This is 2002, 34,000 miles, so very low mileage. Of course, these 2-litre turbo, about 212 horsepower, I believe. Renowned for excellent handling, limited slip differential, and excellent suspension. This is really good condition. Inside as well is really nice. Excellent service record as well with this. Guided 24 to 26,000. And I've seen these fetch mid-30s for very low mileage examples recently at auction. Yeah, sills and arches look perfect. So coming past the Lexus, probably my favourite shape, easily my favourite shape of Corvette, Stingray. This is a C3, 1975. And they made these between 1967 and 82, famous pop-up headlights. This has got a small block, so a 350, I believe, cubic inch engine, 5.7 litre that is. Yeah, iconic design, they look great I think. Unfortunately this one has got some paintwork issues. You can see on the front bumper there, and on the bonnet the paintwork's not great. This is imported from the US in 2020. Apparently has a new engine and gearbox, no reserve.
At 19,
so here we are with the Focus RS.
19. Anybody who wants to go 20 at 19 and a quarter. Once, twice, third and last.
Yeah, it's not going to make reserve. I don't think that's going to sell. Much less than I thought. Really interesting car, probably the only one you'll see ever of these. BMW 635 CSI pickup. Awesome, I love unusual things. 140,000 miles, owned for the last 13 years, and I think no reserve. Yeah, no reserve. What an awesome car. So onto this 2011 Audi R8 Le Mans edition. Beautiful looking thing. I actually owned a Gen 1 V10 Spider. Great car, love that engine. A lot of people prefer this. This is obviously the 4.2 FSI V8. A lot of people preferred that in some ways. I like my V10, 500 odd horsepower, more powerful. It sounded epic at 8750 RPM. This is a manual gearbox. It's quite sought after. Not many of these made actually in manual. I think 40. They came with a carbon pack, Bang & Olufsen, kind of different leather interior, etc. This limited edition run. Only 33,000 miles, 9 May dealer stamps.
Anybody wish to go 42?
And here it is, not fetching that much money.
£41,000.
Estimated 45 to 55.
It is provisional. Get your answer.
You do not see many Lamborghinis, or I don't, certainly at auction. This is a 2016 LP610 for SPYDER. Lovely looking thing. I'm not a huge Lambo fan, just not my taste, particularly in white, but yeah, amazing cars. So obviously 610 denotes the horsepower, 610 horsepower with a 5.2 V10. Actually that I had pretty similar engine that I just said about in my Gen 1 Audi R8. Yeah, cool interior. These seats have taken a bit of a beating. They're not in great condition, probably won't come out in camera. I'm sure they could be clean, but yeah, it's not the best. It's got the carbon ceramic brakes and nose lift, which were expensive options on these. No reserve, incredible. These go for 110,000 plus, I think, so it could be a bargain for someone. Maserati Spider, so this is the 4.2 V8, 385 horsepower. Naturally aspirated, of course. 2003 this one, so kind of Ferrari derived engine. I've never been a huge fan of these aesthetically, but they do look good in the flesh, much better in the flesh. This one's in lovely condition. Interior is excellent. It's got the F1 paddle shift gearbox, not so desirable in my view. Some severe clutch wear issue, well, not severe, has some clutch wear issues, I think. This one states that it's only 50% worn maybe, but it's very expensive to replace. Some wear on the roof here, but nothing major. This is no reserve as well. These start around 15 grand. I reckon this could be a good buy. I might well bid on this. It looks lovely, well cared for. So Ferrari 308 GTB. This is 1976. Actually owned since 1984. Extremely well looked after. So these had a 2.9 litre V8. I think around 250 horsepower. And if I remember correctly, these were GRP body to begin with. And hence only weighing just over a tonne. Pininfarina design, beautiful looking thing, particularly in this colour as well. I'm not sure this is standard exhaust on here. I don't believe they had quad exit exhaust. Yeah, beautiful interior as well. Look at that, wonderful. This is guided at 90 to 100,000 pounds. So Aston Martin DB9, actually just yesterday I saw some of these sell at auction. Not great examples for kind of around about 10,000, I think it was 11,000 maybe. So this is 2005. It's got some paintwork issues. 6 litre V12, 450 horsepower. These early V12s, there's a bit more damage here, are known to have some issues or potential issues. I personally would steer clear of the first few years of these. 14 stamps in the service book. Yeah, this one's in kind of fairly average condition, I think. Not my kind of interior, but yeah, it's not worn too well. I'm not sure that wood is in really bad condition. It's no reserve.
12.25 is the bid.
I wouldn't pay more than 10 for this.
12,005 in Stirlingshire. Thank you again, sir. 12,500
well,
is bid.
there we go.
£12,500 now.
It's fetching way more than I thought it would.
Third and last at 12,500.
Not convinced that's a great buy. This is a much nicer, in my opinion, DB9 Volante, so convertible. Only 24,000 miles, good service history. Yeah, it's got the, again, V12. This is the Auto ZF 6-speed Touchtronic, I think they called it. Looks lovely in this colour, really nice condition. And inside as well, really, really lovely. This is guided at 28 to 32,000, which seems reasonable. So this F-Type is interesting. I was potentially interested in this. It's no reserve. 2014, 45,000 miles, but I see that it's twice Category S and Category N written off. Ferrari California, effectively the entry-level Ferrari, front-engined, naturally aspirated 4.3, I think, at this stage before turning to turbocharged. Yeah, lovely in this colour. I like it. Good service history. It's got a full carbon pack. I think these ran about 450 brake horsepower. Yeah, it's nice. Guided at 50 to 60,000. Saw one of these sell yesterday for, I think, mid 40s. They usually go for kind of 50s upwards. So it sounds about right, the guide price. Yeah, nice condition inside as well. So Porsche Carrera 4S. This is lovely. Look at this interior, lovely tan interior. Hard top comes with it, manual, 131,000, 3.6 engine in that. Full engine rebuild. This is the F-Type.
15.5.
These usually go for about 22,000 upwards, so this looks cheap, just notwithstanding the category markers on it.
15,500. Then if you're all sure at 15.5, sold your way, sir. 15.
And another Porsche here, 993, so last of the air-cooled Porsches, Carrera 4 Cabriolet. Nice car. Estimated 38 to 42,000. I'm not a huge Porsche fan, but this is a lovely car. Air-cooled ones are highly desirable, so we'll see how that goes. Maserati 4200 GT. Again, you know, I've never been that keen on them, but you don't see many in the flesh. And I have to say, this looks much better in person. Yeah, quite nice. So this is kind of Ferrari-derived engine, 385 horsepower, which replaced the twin-turbo smaller engine, V8 engine in the 3200 GT. Nice interior here as well. This is really well cared for. It's got an excellent history. It's quite a rare manual as well, so I might actually bid on this, you know, active damping. Yeah, beautiful. Guide price is 8 to 10,000. To this Maserati because I did bid on it and I've won it provisionally, so a bit of a surprise there. Didn't come to bid on this necessarily. In fact, I was more interested in the Spider, to be honest. But 4,500 was my bid. Guide price is 8 to 10,000. I think I'll be lucky to get that, but you never know. Could be a surprise purchase. So I'll just give you a quick view down here, give you an idea of what's here. So Jaguar XK, XJ, a very lopsided Mercedes S600, Mitsubishi Legnum, quite a rare car, an Alpine, Sunbeam, some Minis, a Lotus, another XK, a couple of Scoobies. There's the Alpina XJS with a flat tyre. And I think this is a Tiger. Yeah, Tiger Racing, Tiger Avon maybe. Couple of Peugeot 205 GTIs. Looks like an ST220 there. So anyway, we'll have a proper look round now. So this E46 M3 is probably one of the pick of the cars outside actually. 2003. These obviously had the S54 3.2 inline 6 engine, 340 horsepower. This one has been extremely well looked after. It's got an excellent service history that I've checked out. Convertible, comes with the hard top though, and yeah, it's superb. I can't really find any marks on it outside. Really excellent conditions. Wheels are perfect. This is a very nice car. It's actually no reserve as well, so this is something I could be interested in. You know, these start around 11,000 or so now. Yeah, interior is just as good. I mean, this is pretty exceptional actually to find one in such good condition these days. Importantly, a manual, of course, rather than the much maligned SMG gearbox. So here's the M3.
So do you want to go 750? At 11.5 there.
I only wanted it was going to be a proper bargain. So it looks like it's going for a fair price though.
Shaking the head and hold. Good news for you. Going once, going twice, third and last. 11,500. Sold.
Interesting car. So this is a Santana, a company who had the rights to build effectively Land Rovers series and then Defenders. This is a 1990. It's obviously had a lot of work done, restored over the last couple of years. Lovely paint job in what they call it heritage green. Underside looks remarkably good. I didn't realise this is on leaf springs. Land Rover Defenders were on coil springs by this time. These are obviously still on leaf, so that's not so great in my opinion. 1990. Yeah, leather with Harris tweed here. Footwells are excellent, all nicely restored. The rear as well, and you can see the canvas is new. LED lights. Nice steering wheel. The dash is still very old school Defender. Unfortunately, also they had the naturally aspirated 2.5 diesel in this, whereas Defenders at the time would have been 200 TDI. So that's a big down point for me personally. This is Guided at 18 to 22,000. I can't see it's going to make that. 149,000 miles. It's a nice car, don't get me wrong, but just can't see it being anywhere near that. So here's the APLINA B5 that I'm interested in, based on the E60 BMW, of course. The M5 of this era BMW had the naturally aspirated V10. This had a supercharged 4.4 V8 from the 540. Yeah, really nice condition actually outside. The classic APLINA wheels there. Yeah, interior looks fairly good. This actually had a ZF Auto, not the hated semi-automatic in the BMW M5 of the time. The iDrive system of this era was terrible though, if I'm honest. Yeah, it looks for 100 and, what is this, nearly 160,000 miles, it looks in fairly good nick. Always good to see the original floor mat still in place. Good sign. So as I was saying, this is the 4.4 V8 supercharged. A lot of reworking to this engine by APLINA. Made about 500 horsepower, so the same as the M5. I'd argue this is better because of the torque from the supercharger. Really interested in this car. Hard to say what it's worth if they're so rare. I'll probably only bid up to about 5,000 on it though. Nice little MG Midget, 1967. My mum owned one of these, so I have a soft spot for them. 1275 engine. This is another no reserve car. Looks really nice. So Jaguar XJS, this is really not in good condition. Well, it's awful. Paintwork's terrible. It's barn find condition. 1990, rusting away. Unfortunately, yeah, not a great car.
Five bids. Sale
So here's the APLINA.
£5,500. Dan's bidder on the sale room at 5.5. Looking for 750 again. 5,500 is the bid.
Yeah, it looks like a fair price. I'm not going to bid on it. The lack of servicing in the last few years did it for me, so I was out.
Third and last at 5,500.
And here's the MG Midget, no reserve. I saw one of these sell yesterday for 7,500.
3-1 in front, 3-2 bid, 3-2. Thank you, sir.
Looks like pretty good value.
At 32 bid. Any more online? 3,002 the bid there, and it goes on sale at £3,200. Sold your way.
So the Aston Martin DB7, 1998, something I actually specifically came to see. Quite interested in this. It's a rare manual. It's the supercharged inline 6. Possibly some repair work being done on that rear arch. 87,000 miles, 25 service stamps. It is a category write-off though, which I hadn't realised before. Obviously the V12 didn't come along till after this car. This is 98. The V12 I think came along in 99. No reserve though. I like the interior. Oh yeah. So that's put me off really. Okay, it may not be too bad, but I don't want a car like this. I have enough cars that need things doing to them. Very nice inside though. Interesting to see what this makes with no reserve. You can get these for around the £10,000 mark now. Right, so this is possibly the best of a few Jaguar XK8. It comes with a year's MOT, 1998 this one. You can see the bonnet doesn't seem to match colour. There's a bumper there. So something's obviously happened there. 20-inch wheels, stainless steel exhaust, 139,000 miles. But it looks fairly good. As I say, it's probably the pick of the XK8s here. No reserve. Yeah, considering the mileage, this looks pretty good. Whether or not it's had just rust repair at the front, or whether that was a kind of accident damage, I don't know. Yep, this is the one I'd go for, I think. Really nice burr walnut dash. So skipping past the Porsche Panamera, not a classic or performance car in my book, but there you go. Is that Bentley Mulsanne's there? And come to see this, another Alpina, Z4 Alpina. This looks really nice. Love the wheels, Alpina wheels. 3.4 engine this had, slightly larger than the standard S4, 300 horsepower. A few kind of body alterations here from Alpina, as you can see. 155,000 miles. Only 167 of these came to the UK. You know, had different suspension, seats, steering wheel. Looks in pretty good condition for the mileage. I think the engines are actually hand built in these with different crankshaft and head. Yeah, 2006. This is no reserve as well. I think the cheapest ones online are about, I think, 15 grand or so. So this could be good value. Forester STI. This is the what do they call it? SF5 generation. So the kind of first generation Forester STI, imported from Japan 2022 as a 3.5 graded car. Looks pretty decent. It runs the EJ20 2-litre turbo engine in these. I think around 225 or so horsepower. A little bit of damage at the front. I did see that it's had some repairs to the rear. Yeah, interior looks pretty good. Yes, decent condition. Well, here's the Z4 Alpina. Looks like it's going to be really cheap. I should have come prepared to bid on this.
Selling to you, sir, at 5.5, and it goes for the first time at 5,500, the second time at 5,500, third and final time at £5,500.
Great value.
Sold at 55. Yours, Kurt. What's your number there, please?
So another XK8. Perhaps the only other one I'd even consider. This is 1998, another X100, of course. So these had the 4-litre AJ-V8 engine. This is a Category C write-off. No MOT since 2017, though, I realise. So perhaps I wouldn't actually go for this one. Another no reserve car, though. So I guess you can't go too far wrong. Yeah, it's got very heavy wear on the steering wheel, I would say. But, you know, no reserve. Someone could pick this up for a bargain. So, Mitsubishi Legnum. So, this is, I think they call it STR. This is a V6, 2.5 litre, naturally aspirated. I think these were JDM only. So, yeah, this was imported 2023 to the UK. 1997, 65,000 miles. Had the 4-speed auto. Nice car. You know, I looked at the VR4 version of these, which was the 2.5 litre twin turbo. Oh, can't get in. Which is the only one I'd go for. That had 276 horsepower. So we'll move on to one of several Scoobies here. This is a 1993 WRX. Imported to the UK in 1999 and owned since 2010. 111,000 miles. Again, these had the EJ20 2-litre boxer engine. Nice gold wheels. This hasn't been used for a while. Look at that brake disc and caliper, sorry. Oh, and some pretty major rust, and you can see this is tried to be treated. That's some Genelite type stuff that's been running down there, been trying to treat the rust. Not a great car. No reserve, though. Porsche 944. Not in great condition. Jaguar XJS. GLA 45. Not really sure what that's doing here, if I'm honest. Nice car, but perhaps not classic or performance in my book. Maybe I'm being a snob. So Z3M past that Tiger Avon. These are rare cars. I'm not a fan of the Z3 or Z4. This had a very iconic design, very distinctive. You know, I might make an exception for these. They're pretty rare. I think maybe 1,000 or so in the UK. This is year 2000. You can see ridiculously big arches on these and the kind of bread van looks, as it was termed. Had the E36 M3 engine, 320 horsepower, screaming at 8,000 RPM. I think they moved to the E46 M3 engine in 2001. This looks nice. Very nice condition. 100,000 miles, got a year's MOT on it. It's had suspension, brake and exhaust upgrades, had a lot spent on it. These are now available from 10 grand up, I think. No reserve on this, it could be one to watch.
15,000. Thank you for your bid, sir. Check it ahead and hold.
So this is the Z3M. It's gone for much more than I thought. It's a nice example though.
15,500. Selling it then if it all sure and done. Goes
Yeah, you can pick these up much cheaper.
First time, second, third and last, £15,000.
So another car I was surprised to see here, 435D. So these were twin turbo, 3 litre inline 6. 2014 this one, usually 300 horsepower. This has been remapped to 390. It's on IBACs. Had an intercooler as well. 108,000 miles. Years MOT. Fairly well looked after. Bit crappy down there as you can see. Tyres are very, very close to the limit. Yeah, no reserve though, again. So heading to this very lopsided Mercedes S600, you would have to pay me to take this car. I think it's got a lot of issues. 2003 W220 era, you can see lopsided, suggests the ABC suspension has issues. Foggy headlights as well. That ABC suspension costs a fortune. Owning one of these, I know how expensive these can be to maintain. 5.5 V12 bi-turbo engine, 500 horsepower. Looks okay inside. This has only had 2 owners, but what worries me most is this has only had 800 miles or something like that over 8 years, so barely used. Cars like this I think need to be kept used. Something's missing there. They say it's running fine, but looking at the MOT history, that wing mirror is not right. It's had a lot of rust issues, subframe, etc. I suspect this has got major issues. So a Mark II Golf GTI, this is an 8-valve, 1991, 160,000 miles, had a load of work done on it, engine ported, it's got different cams, exhaust, you know, it's a bit worse for wear, particularly as you can see inside with that seat. I can't see too much evidence of rust though. Another no reserve car. This could be good value because good ones of these fetch a fair bit of money now. Okay, the seat's bad.
27.50 is bid. Does anybody wish to go through?
So here's the Golf GTI.
Last chance then. Gavels up and it goes to Dorset this time at
I reckon that's a great buy.
So Dorset, yours 27.50. 16.
On to the Lotus. This is a Series 3. It's an Elise 220 Sport. It's not quite right there, that paintwork on the front. So these were the 1.8 Toyota engine, supercharged, 220 horsepower. A lot of people say these are kind of the sweet spot for an Elise, actually. Nice looking car. Wouldn't have it in white myself, but that's just my taste. This has only done 7,000 miles. It's 2020. Guided at 35 to 40,000 pounds. So yeah, interested to see what these make. This huge, ridiculous sill to get over in an Elise. Nice interior, lovely looking seats, and I really like the exposed gear linkage here. Really nice. So this is a 1992 Rover Mini Sprite. It's owned since 2013 and you can see lots of modifications including these wheel arches, but it's got a bored engine from the 1.3, poly-bushed, adjustable dampers. Again, no reserve. This looks like a great fun little car that's been really well cared for, had a lot spent on it. Look at this interior, carbon dash, cool little steering wheel, seats are pristine. You know, these, yeah, I don't know what, difficult to value because it's modified, but I would be surprised if this goes for under 5,000. Could be a great little car for someone, I think. And then the 1974 Morris pickup, one owner, and yeah, unusual kind of khaki colour, 91,000 miles, got the 1 litre engine, had extensive restoration. Onto the Honda Civic. So this is the Jordan edition. I can't remember the full name actually. It's obviously had a lot of mods as well. It's been lowered, different wheels. Made to celebrate the working with the Jordan F1 team. So a 1992 1.6 205 GTI here. Looks fairly decent. Again, another no reserve car. Slight paintwork issue. The back seats there not looking so good. I expect they'll be bad on the front if they're also bad at the back. They do tend to go on these. Yeah, that obviously bolster there is pretty bad. And I suspect under this cover, yeah, the driver's side is bad as well. But, you know, no reserve. Could be a good buy still. Slight paintwork issue on the bonnet here. So it's another Scooby WRX STI. This is 1996. So the STI's made the classic 276 horsepower in Japan. Imported this one, 141,000 kilometers. It's obviously got a aftermarket exhaust. These colours don't match boot and bumper there. So not quite sure what's happened there. And I think at the front, this paintwork bit dodgy and doesn't quite seem to match with the bumper and the bonnet here. Yeah, not great condition. Guided at £8,000 to £10,000. May make it. You know, it's not great. Yeah, handle hanging off a bit here. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't pay 8 to 10 for it. But, you know, it's a nearly 30-year-old car. Fiesta 1.1, rare automatic there, Porsche 924, and then a BMW 840 Ci. So these are the 4-litre V8, 280 horsepower. High mileage, this one, 181,000 miles, 1995. No paperwork since 2005. Good ones of these, you know, teens to 20s, £1,000. This won't make anywhere near it with the lack of service history, very high mileage. Guided £6,000 to £8,000, which seems, I guess, fair. Difficult to price a car like this. Oh, very worn in here. Yeah, not one I'd go for. Needs a lot of spending on it, I should think. Another Scooby. So this is an Impreza Colin McRae edition. Something like that, I think they called it. This is in, oh dear, pretty bad condition. Some very bad repairs. Is that a repair? Yeah, nice gold wheels. If you like that, go well with the blue. So this is based on the Turbo 2000, not a WRX or STI. I think there are only 200 made. Some dents here. Yeah, it's had a lot of treatment on the underside. Got some history. But as you can see, really not great condition. Guided at £10,000 to £12,000. No way. Mark 1 Cortina. So another no reserve car. This is 1964 from South Africa. It's had some restoration. This is a 1.6 engine on twin Webers. Looks pretty nice inside actually. Yeah, nice car. Good ones of these are probably teens to 20s, highly dependent on condition, of course. Chrome work looks pretty good. Paintwork's not great. Obviously some rust bubbling here. Needs some work still. But no reserve. Interesting to see what that goes for. Maserati, another Maserati. I don't think I've ever seen so many. This is the 3200 GT, so the 3.2 litre V8 twin turbo. 370 horsepower, one owner, 32,000 miles, no reserve again. Yeah. Could be a good car. Could be a good bargain there, I reckon. Honda NSX, you do not see many of these. This is a Japanese import, came in 2015, 1992, it's got a manual. I think it's in, call it fairly average condition. Apparently it had a full respray in 2017. Yeah, it's got some upgraded centre console. Obviously had lots of different modification bits, gear knob, etc. Different seats here, bucket seats for the passenger versus the driver. I think it's running independent throttle bodies on this. These were the 3-litre V6, of course. I think they were 270 horsepower. Japanese supercar taking on the more traditional supercars. Badly split bumper there, splitter. Yeah, it's not in great condition. Guided at 55 to 65. You know, these go for 60 upwards, I guess, but this is not great condition. So Land Rover Series 2, 1960. I actually have a 1959 Series 2, so quite interested in this. Looks pretty good condition. Yeah, chassis looks like it's had a new rear cross member at some time, that's no issue. Welded on. This has a 200 TDI engine. Really nice inside. It's obviously had a lot of time and money spent on it. Can't quite see the footwell there, but yeah, good paint job. That rear cross member does look new. They all leak, that's standard. Guided at 10 to 12. You know, actually, there's quite a following of people who like these without the usual 2.25. Interesting there. Without the usual 2.25 petrol engine in them. Yeah, it looks good underneath as well, really, for the age of the car. And so I don't see this being devalued by having the 200 TDI engine in. So here's the 944. It's a 1986. It's in fairly ropey condition, I would say. These had the 2.5 litre engine. No MOT since 2020 on this one. $172,000 miles. Not in great condition either. No reserve though. Yeah, I think one for the brave, I would say. Then onto this XJS. 1993, this is the 4-litre 6-cylinder. Lovely colour. You said a 4-speed auto. Another no reserve car. It's got the usual bit of rust coming through there. And can't get in. Yeah, it looks reasonable. For knowing that they're real rust buckets. Onto the Mondeo ST220 here. These had the 3-litre V6 Duratec rather than the 2.5 in the ST200. This is another no reserve car. You may have heard me say at another auction, I'm interested in these because I have a Noble M12 GTO 3R which runs pretty much the same engine as these. Sills tend to go, it looks reasonably good round here though. A bit of rust. This is on coilovers, loads of receipts, years MOT. I think no reserve, this could be a good bargain. I've seen these good ones of these fetch £5,000–6,000. So I'm heading off now. Really good day. Some really interesting cars, quite rare ones. Some nice supercars, performance cars. Also quite disappointed with some of the cars out here. Quite a lot of rust buckets. The flip side is that most of them are offered without reserve, so you can't really complain, I guess. Yeah, not only some really interesting cars, the Pantera, for example, quite a few nice Astons, etc. But also some real bargains to be had. I mean, I think that 635 CSI at £8,500, I think it was, hammer price seems like a real bargain. The Carrera 4S at 10 grand hammer price seems ridiculously cheap. And potentially my Maserati 4200 GT for £4,500 hammer price. We'll wait and see that. Not quite such a good bargain. Provisional. We'll wait and see if I get that unexpected purchase. So yeah, good day, interesting cars, always a fun day out, potentially added to the collection. Another good auction. Thanks very much for watching. There'll be more auction videos coming fairly soon.